Okay, so retirement. You ready for this? A crazy 95% of people won't be financially secure when they hit retirement age.
Yeah.
That's like a serious reality check, don't you think? It makes you wonder what the other 5% know that we don't.
Right.
You guys have sent us some interesting stuff about Gerry Adkins and his real wealth formula.
Mhm.
Claims it's the answer to this whole financial freedom puzzle.
Yeah.
Actually, he's doing a webinar with the IBC Club soon, so this is kind of like a sneak peek,
Yeah.
getting you familiar with his ideas before you dive in.
Okay.
So what I find interesting is how Adkins just throws that 95% stat right out there.
Yeah.
Like, no sugarcoating. Just straight up, most people are headed for financial trouble. It's like a wake-up call.
It's definitely a wake-up call.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you want to be part of that statistic, or do you want to take control and, create a different story?
Right. It's like a challenge.
Yeah.
So what's the alternative?
Yeah.
What's the secret weapon Adkins is offering?
He has this idea of a comprehensive wealth plan. Think of it like your blueprint to financial freedom, step by step.
Okay.
And right at the center of that plan is his real wealth formula.
Gotcha.
Kind of like a financial GPS, you know?
Yeah.
It shows you where you are now and guides you to where you want to be.
All right. Color me intrigued. Let's unpack this formula. What exactly is it, and how does it work?
So he divides wealth building into these 3 income categories.
Okay.
First, the one we all know, employment.
Yeah.
You're trading your time for money.
Right. The daily grind.
Then you've got what he calls portfolio income. So that's putting your money to work for you, generating more money through, investments, stocks, bonds, that kind of thing.
Right.
And then the holy grail, investor income. That's where you've really figured it out. Creating money even when you're not working.
Ah, the dream. Passive income.
Exactly.
So how do we go from being 100% dependent on a job to generating this magical passive income? Is that where the formula comes in?
That's it. The real wealth formula. It's almost like a recipe for success. You know how it goes. Real wealth equals financial control, plus financial security number, plus financial independence number.
Okay.
You need all 3 of these to create true wealth.
So it's not just how much money you have, it's how you control it and how you use it to make more.
Yeah.
All right, let's break these down one by one. What is financial control?
Imagine you're building a house. Financial control is the foundation.
Yep.
It's about you being the boss of your money, not the other way around.
Right.
2 key things there. Your credit score and how you manage debt. Adkins says aim for a credit score of 700 or above.
That's a good number, yeah,
It opens up better interest rates and opportunities.
for sure.
And the less high interest debt you have, the more money you have free to, invest and grow.
Right, make that money work for you.
Exactly.
So financial control is all about building that solid base, right? Making sure your money's on your team. Okay, what about the other 2 numbers, financial security number and financial independence number? What are those?
So think of your financial security number, or FSN. That's your safety net. It's the amount of money you need in the bank so you can sleep at night knowing you can handle any surprises life throws at you. Adkins suggests you take your monthly expenses, multiply by 6, then double that.
Okay, so let's say my monthly expenses are, I don't know, like $4,000. My FSN would be $48,000.
Yeah.
That's a good cushion to have, knowing I could cover 6 months of expenses, if anything unexpected happened.
Exactly.
But what about the financial independence number? What's that all about?
Now that's where things get exciting. Your financial independence number, or FIN, that's your ticket to living the dream. That's the monthly income you need to have the lifestyle you want, travel, hobbies, anything you're passionate about.
So if my FIN is, let's say, $10,000 a month, that means I need to be generating that much in passive income every month to be truly financially free.
Right.
No more trading time for money, just living life on my own terms. That's pretty motivating.
Exactly. And Adkins actually gives these examples to show you how this works in real life. He talks about someone who's got a pretty good financial control foundation.
Right.
Decent credit score, manageable debt, but their FSN, their safety net, still needs work, and they're making some extra income, but they're still pretty dependent on their job.
Yeah.
It's like a snapshot of where a lot of people find themselves.
I can see that. Wanting the freedom, but not sure how to get there.
Exactly.
So they have the basic structure, but they need to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
It's not just vague dreams of being rich. It's about having specific numbers to aim for.
Right.
Targets for your safety net and your dream lifestyle.
Yeah.
That makes it all seem a lot more real and achievable.
Yeah.
So how do you go from where you are now to reaching those goals? That's where his 9-step comprehensive wealth plan comes in, right?
Hey,
That's the guide to making those numbers a reality.
exactly. Those 9 steps are a systematic way to build real wealth step by step, helping you get to those FSN and FAN numbers.
All right, I'm ready to hear about these steps.
Okay, so step one is like going to the doctor for a financial checkup. Adkins calls it the DDP process. Discovery, diagnosis, prescription. You're discovering your current financial situation, diagnosing the areas you need to work on, and then you create a prescription, a plan to achieve your goals.
It makes sense to get a clear picture of where you stand before you make any moves, right?
Right.
Step 2.
Step two is all about education. He calls it Real Wealth University. It's about gaining the knowledge and skills you need to manage your money well, make good investment decisions, and build those streams of passive income.
So not just diving into the deep end without knowing how to swim.
Exactly.
You're building that foundation of financial literacy. Love it. What's next in step 3?
Step three is where you tackle credit, personal, and business finance. It's all about building and using your credit to your advantage.
Okay, so those first 3 steps are all about getting ready for the big game, understanding your finances, getting educated, building a solid credit foundation.
Right.
Now it's time for the real action. What about steps 4 through 6? What do they focus on?
So steps 4, 5, and 6 are all about building your financial cushion, that FSN, that safety net that gives you peace of mind.
Okay.
Adkins has what he calls a savvy investing blueprint with a bunch of strategies for growing your money.
So you're not just hiding cash under your mattress, you're actively putting it to work. What are some of the strategies he suggests?
He mentions a few, like real estate investing, e-commerce, and trading. The key is finding what fits your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with. He also emphasizes starting with what he calls a flipping mindset.
A flipping mindset.
Yeah, buying, improving, and selling assets quickly
Gotcha.
to generate cash flow and build that FSN.
Okay, so you're being strategic and focused in those early stages, building that safety net before diving into more long-term investments. What happens once you've hit, or at least gotten close to, your FSN goal? That's where the real magic happens, right? Steps 7 through 9, the path to true financial freedom.
You got it. Steps 7, 8, and 9 are all about generating that passive income and reaching your FIN, your financial independence number, that dream lifestyle.
All right, tell me more. Let's dive into these last 3 steps and see how they lead to that financial freedom.
Okay, step 7 is about systematically building that targeted monthly income. Remember that $10,000 a month example?
Yeah.
He suggests breaking it down into smaller milestones, increasing your passive income by 33% at each stage.
Oh,
So, not trying to do everything at once.
like breaking a marathon into smaller, manageable chunks.
Exactly. Instead of being overwhelmed by the whole thing, you just focus on reaching that next milestone. You build momentum as you go.
Okay.
What about step 8? What does that involve?
Yeah. What about step 8?
Step 8 is all about making your finances automatic, systematizing things to free yourself from the everyday grind. He emphasizes that even after you hit your FIN, you don't want to be tied to your business all the time. You want that freedom to travel, to spend time with family, to chase new passions without your income taking a hit.
That's the ultimate goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Having your money work for you?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the grand finale? What's step 9 all about?
Step 9 is focusing on building assets that generate passive income, things that keep the money flowing in. This can be a different approach to real estate, building a portfolio of rental properties that bring in consistent cash flow without you needing to be hands-on, or exploring other avenues like dividend-paying stocks or online businesses.
So it's about shifting from working in your business to working on your business, right? Creating systems and investments that generate income without you having to directly work for it.
Exactly. It's like building a machine that generates income on autopilot, giving you the freedom to live life on your own terms.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Right. But Adkins doesn't stop there. He really emphasizes that it's not enough to just build wealth, you have to protect it too. He points out that if your income and assets are just held in your own name, they're vulnerable. Lawsuits, creditors, all sorts of threats.
Whoa, okay. That's kind of scary. That's like working so hard to build this amazing castle, only to realize it has no walls or defenses. So how do you protect yourself and all that hard-earned wealth?
Adkins recommends using what he calls exempt and protective entities. They're like your financial shields. An exempt entity, like a whole life insurance policy structured in a certain way, offers a lot of protection. The cash value inside grows tax-deferred, and the death benefit is usually protected from creditors.
So it's like a safe place to store your wealth.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
What about protective entities? What are those?
Protective entities are businesses set up specifically to protect your assets. For example, you could have a holding company that owns the name of your business
Okay.
that separates it from the actual day-to-day operations.
Right, creating layers of protection. But setting up these entities sounds pretty complicated. Where do you even begin?
Adkins is a big advocate for getting expert help with this. While you can definitely learn about it and do it yourself, having a team of professionals, attorneys, financial advisors, tax specialists can make things a lot smoother. Plus, you know you're making informed decisions.
It makes sense to have some experienced people guiding you through that process. It's like having a coach at the gym. They can spot you, correct your form, and help you reach your goals more effectively. But even with expert help, this is a lot to absorb. It can be overwhelming, especially if you're just starting out on your wealth-building journey.
Absolutely. But remember, building wealth is a journey, not a race. You don't have to do everything at once. Just start with small, achievable steps. The key is to be consistent, keep learning, and get guidance when you need it.
It's about progress, not perfection, right?
Exactly. And speaking of guidance, remember that deep dive webinar Gerry Adkins is doing with the IBC Club. It's a great opportunity to get even more in-depth knowledge and connect with others who are on a similar path.
Right. We mentioned that earlier. We'll definitely remind everyone about the webinar at the end of this deep dive. But let's shift gears for a minute. Atkins really emphasizes financial literacy. He even includes Real Wealth University as part of his 9-step plan. Why do you think he puts so much importance on education?
Well, I think it's because without understanding the basics, you're basically playing a game where you don't know the rules. You might make impulsive moves, fall for scams, or miss out on great opportunities.
Right, you're flying blind. Exactly.
Financial literacy gives you the power to make good decisions, manage your money wisely, and build wealth strategically. It's the foundation for achieving your financial goals.
It's like trying to navigate a foreign city without a map. You might stumble upon what you're looking for, but you'll probably waste a lot of time and energy in the process. So what does Adkins cover in his Real Wealth University? What kind of knowledge does he give you?
He covers a lot of ground. From the basics like budgeting and saving to more complex stuff like investing, credit management, reducing debt, business structures, tax strategies, even asset protection. He talks about understanding different investment tools like stocks, bonds, real estate, and precious metals.
Wow, that's a lot to unpack.
It is.
Sounds like a crash course in everything you need to know to be in control of your money. But how does this education actually lead to real results? How does it help people get to that financial freedom?
Well, let's take budgeting, for example. Understanding how to budget helps you track your money, see where you can cut back, and make sure your funds are going to the right places.
Okay.
It's like giving your money a clear path, making sure it goes where it's supposed to.
It's about being intentional with your money, right? Not just letting it disappear. What about investing? How does that contribute to financial freedom?
Investing is how you get your money to work for you. By understanding different investment options, you can choose ones that have the potential to grow over time, even faster than inflation, and build lasting wealth.
So you're not just saving money, you're making it multiply.
Exactly.
What about managing credit? How does that fit in?
Having a good credit score is like having a golden ticket. It opens up so many financial opportunities. Lower interest rates on loans, better insurance rates, even better rental agreements. It's a powerful tool for building wealth.
Like having VIP access to the financial world.
Yeah, exactly.
And what about getting rid of debt? How does that factor in?
High interest debt is like a weight holding you back. It drains your resources and stops you from reaching your full potential. Adkins teaches strategies for managing and getting rid of debt effectively. This frees up more money for you to invest and grow your wealth.
It's like getting rid of those financial burdens holding you down, clearing the path to your goals. But, knowledge without action is useless. It's like a car without an engine. It won't get you anywhere. How does Adkins encourage people to actually use what they learn and take those steps toward financial freedom?
He really stresses the importance of setting clear goals, making a plan, and most importantly, taking consistent action.
Right.
He encourages people to break down those big, ambitious goals into smaller, more manageable steps and to celebrate those milestones along the way.
It's like training for a marathon. You don't try to run 26 miles on your first day.
Right.
You gradually increase your distance, building endurance and confidence. But what about the mental and emotional aspects of building wealth? How does Adkins address those?
He's a firm believer in the power of community and support. He encourages people to connect with others who share similar goals,
Okay.
to share knowledge and hold each other accountable. It's like having a team of cheerleaders and coaches by your side, motivating you to stay focused and reach your goals.
That's so important. It's so much easier to stay motivated and push through challenges when you have a support system cheering you on, sharing the journey with you.
Absolutely. And remember that deep dive webinar Gerry Adkins is hosting with the IBC Club. It's a great opportunity to not only learn more, but to connect with others who are on the same path to financial freedom.
We'll be sure to remind our listeners about that webinar at the end of this episode. But as we head into the final part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to consider this.
Yeah.
Why should our listeners care about all of this? How does this knowledge apply to their everyday lives?
That's a great question. The answer is simple. Financial freedom isn't just for the wealthy or the financial experts.
Right.
It's something anyone can achieve with the right knowledge, mindset, and strategies. It's about taking control of your finances, designing a life you love, and securing your future and the future of your loved ones.
It's about being empowered to live life on your own terms, not limited by financial constraints.
Exactly. It's about creating a life where you have the freedom to pursue your passions, contribute to causes you care about, and spend your time and energy on things that truly matter to you.
It's about aligning your finances with your values,
Mm.
crafting a life that reflects your priorities. But we've covered a lot in this second part of our deep dive. Before we jump into the final part, let's give our listeners a moment to absorb all of this amazing information. What stands out to you? What insights have you gained that you can apply to your own financial journey? We'll be back in a moment to explore Adkins' ideas about automation and passive income in more detail.
Exactly. It's like building this machine that just generates income without you having to do anything, giving you the freedom to live life how you want. But Adkins doesn't stop there.
Oh.
He's really big on this idea that it's not enough to just build wealth. You have to protect it too. He says that income and assets that are just held in your own name are vulnerable
Vulnerable how?
to things like lawsuits, creditors, all sorts of threats.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little unnerving. It's like you work so hard to build this incredible castle and then realize it has no walls, no defenses. So how do you protect yourself and all the wealth you've built?
Adkins recommends using what he calls exempt and protective entities.
Okay.
Think of them as financial shields. An exempt entity, like a whole life insurance policy that's structured a specific way, offers a high level of protection.
Okay.
The cash value inside grows tax-deferred, and the death benefit is usually safe from creditors.
So it's kind of like a safe or a vault where you can keep your wealth protected.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
What about those protective entities? What are those all about?
Protective entities are businesses that are specifically designed to safeguard your assets.
Okay.
For example, a holding company can own the name of your business, separating it from the actual day-to-day operations.
So you're creating these like strategic layers of separation to protect your assets from anything that might come up.
Exactly.
But setting up these entities sounds pretty complex.
It can be.
Where to even start?
Adkins really pushes for seeking out expert guidance when it comes to this stuff.
Mm.
You can definitely learn about it and do it on your own, but having a team of professionals, attorneys, financial advisors, tax specialists can really help streamline things. And you'll know you're making the best decisions possible.
It makes sense to have those pros guiding you through potentially tricky situations. Just like having a coach in the gym. They can make sure you're doing things right and help you reach your goals more efficiently. But even with experts, this all feels like a lot. It can be overwhelming, especially if you're just getting started on your wealth-building journey.
Absolutely. But it's important to remember that building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
You don't have to do everything all at once. Just start with those small steps, the things you can actually achieve. The key is consistency. Keep learning and asking for help when you need it.
It's about making progress, not being perfect.
Right, exactly. And speaking of guidance, remember that deep dive webinar Gerry Adkins is hosting with the IBC Club. It's a fantastic opportunity to not only dig deeper into those strategies, but also connect with others who are on the same path.
Absolutely. We'll be sure to remind everyone about that at the end. But let's shift gears a bit here. What Adkins really highlights is financial literacy. He actually includes Real Wealth University as one of the 9 steps in his plan. Why do you think education is so important to him?
I think it's because if you don't understand the basics, you're kind of going in blind.
Yeah.
You might make rash decisions, you might get caught up in scams, or you could even miss out on some really great opportunities.
Right, you're just kind of fumbling around in the dark.
Exactly. Financial literacy gives you that power to make informed choices, manage your money effectively, and build wealth in a smart way. It's the base for hitting your financial goals.
It's like trying to find your way around a new city without a map or GPS.
Yeah.
You might get there eventually,
Yeah,
but you're going to waste a ton of time and energy getting lost.
exactly.
So what kinds of things does Adkins cover in his Real Wealth University? What does he teach you?
He covers a wide range of topics, starting with the essentials like budgeting and saving, and then he gets into more advanced things like investing, managing credit, reducing debt, the different ways to structure your business tax strategies, and how to protect your assets. He even talks about different investment tools like stocks, bonds, real estate, and precious metals.
Wow. It's like a one-stop shop for everything you need to know.
It is.
It sounds like a crash course in financial mastery. But how does this education actually play out in real life? How does it actually help people get to that financial freedom?
Let's take budgeting as an example. When you understand how to budget, you can track your income and expenses, figure out where you can cut back, and make sure you're using your money effectively.
Right.
It's like giving your money a clear roadmap, making sure it goes where it needs to.
It's all about being mindful with your money,
Right.
not just letting it slip away. So what about investing? How does that factor into financial freedom?
Investing is how you make your money grow. By understanding the different options, you can pick investments that have the potential to increase over time, beating inflation and building real wealth.
So it's not just saving. It's about making your money work for you.
Exactly.
What about managing credit? How does that fit into all of this?
Having good credit is crucial. It opens doors to so many financial opportunities. Lower interest rates on loans, better insurance premiums, even better rental agreements. It's a real game changer for building wealth.
It's like having a VIP pass to the financial world.
Exactly.
Okay, and what about tackling debt? How does that factor into the journey toward financial freedom?
High interest debt is a major obstacle. It drains your resources and prevents you from reaching your full potential. Adkins teaches strategies for managing and reducing debt, so you can free up more cash to invest and grow your wealth.
It's like getting rid of that weight that's holding you back, clearing the path to reach your goals. But we all know knowledge is nothing without action. It's like a car without an engine. It won't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
How does Adkins encourage people to actually take what they've learned and make those moves toward financial freedom?
He's a big believer in setting clear goals, coming up with a plan, and most importantly, taking action consistently. He encourages people to break down those big goals into smaller, more achievable steps, and to acknowledge and celebrate their progress along the way.
It's like training for a marathon. You don't start by trying to run 26 miles.
Right.
You gradually increase your distance. You build up your endurance and your confidence along the way. What about the mental and emotional side of building wealth? How does Adkins approach that?
He's a firm believer in the power of community and support. He encourages people to surround themselves with others who share their goals,
Okay.
to share knowledge and hold each other accountable. It's like having your own cheer squad and coaching team, motivating you to stay on track and achieve those goals.
That support system is so crucial. It's so much easier to stay focused and overcome those challenges when you have people who are on the same journey as you, cheering you on. And remember that deep dive webinar Gerry Adkins is hosting with the IBC Club.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity to not only deepen your understanding, but to connect with those like-minded individuals who are striving for financial freedom just like you.
It is.
We'll definitely make sure to remind everyone about that webinar at the end. But as we transition into the last part of our deep dive, let's pause for a second and consider this. Why should our listeners care about all of this? How does this knowledge actually apply to their everyday lives?
That's a fantastic question, and the answer is really quite simple. Financial freedom isn't just for the wealthy or the financial gurus. It's a goal that anyone can achieve if they have the right knowledge, the right mindset, and the right strategies. It's about taking charge of your finances, creating a life that you truly love, and securing not only your future, but also the future of your loved ones.
It's about empowering yourself to live life on your own terms, not being held back by money worries.
Exactly. It's about creating a life where you have the freedom to chase your passions, contribute to causes that are important to you, and spend your time and energy doing the things that matter most.
It's about aligning your money with your values, designing a life that truly reflects what's important to you. We've explored a lot of ideas in this second part of our deep dive.
We have.
Before we move on to the final part, let's give everyone a moment to let all of this amazing information sink in. What resonates most with you? What are some of the key insights that you can apply to your own financial journey? We'll be back in a moment to dig deeper into Adkins' thoughts on automation and passive income. Okay, so let's get back to Gerry Adkins and the last few steps of his plan.
Sorry.
He's really big on automation and building passive income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Steps 8 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear automation, I think, robots on an assembly line,
Right.
not my personal finances.
So can you help me understand what financial automation actually looks like?
Sure, think of it like this, setting up your money to manage itself.
So you can free up your time and mental energy for other things. Imagine having your bills paid automatically.
Yeah.
Investments happening on a regular schedule and software that tracks everything.
Sounds like putting your money on autopilot.
Exactly.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
What are the benefits besides just saving time?
Well, no more missed payments or late fees.
That's a good one.
You're not scrambling to pay bills at the last minute. It also helps you stay organized and on top of your finances, which can seriously reduce stress.
Oh, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah,
There's nothing quite like the peace of mind knowing your bills are handled and your money's working for you behind the scenes. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances.
exactly.
But automation isn't just about convenience. It can help you reach your financial goals more effectively, right?
Absolutely. When you automate those recurring investments, you're consistently putting money toward your long-term goals. Even when you're busy or distracted, it's like that snowball effect.
Okay.
It just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Right. It keeps growing without you having to constantly push it.
Right.
The classic pay yourself first strategy in action. Okay, so let's move on to step 9, which is all about building those passive income-producing assets.
Okay.
This feels like the ultimate dream for a lot of people, earning money without actively working for it. Can you give us some common examples of passive income-producing assets?
Sure. Rental properties are a classic example. You own a property, rent it out, and collect that monthly income. Another popular one is dividend-paying stocks. You invest in companies that give a portion of their profits back to shareholders, which gives you a steady stream of passive income without you having to do anything.
So you're basically like a mini landlord or a part owner of a company, reaping the benefits without the daily grind. What are some other creative ways to generate passive income?
Online businesses like e-commerce stores, online courses, those can be fantastic sources of passive income. You create the product or service once, then you can automate the sales and marketing,
Right, right.
allowing you to make money even while you're, relaxing on a beach somewhere, or at least dreaming about it.
That's the beauty of the internet age.
Exactly.
Using technology to create income streams that work for you 24/7.
Mm,
Let's be real, though. Building these passive income streams, it takes time and effort, right?
of course. It's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes an upfront investment of time, energy, and often some money, too. You're acquiring knowledge, developing skills, and building systems that can generate that consistent income.
But the payoff is potentially huge.
Right.
Financial freedom and the ability to create a life you love.
Exactly.
It's like planting a seed. You nurture it, water it, give it time to grow, and eventually it blossoms and bears fruit for years to come. But remember what Adkins said about protection.
Yes.
Those exempt and protective entities we talked about, those are crucial for shielding your passive income streams and assets from potential problems like lawsuits or creditors.
Exactly. Building wealth is only half the battle.
Right.
Protecting it is just as important. Think of it like, building a fortress around your wealth.
I like that. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into Gerry Adkins' real wealth formula, what are some key things you want listeners to remember?
Okay. So, first, financial freedom is possible for everyone. It's not about luck or being privileged. It's about having a plan, taking consistent action, and staying committed to your goals.
It's about taking control of your financial future, creating a life you truly want.
Exactly. And remember, building wealth is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't be discouraged if you don't see results right away. Be patient, stay consistent, keep your eyes on the prize.
And never stop learning. Invest in your financial education. Find mentors who can guide you. And keep looking for ways to grow your knowledge and skills.
That's so important. Oh, and don't forget about that deep dive webinar Gerry Adkins is hosting with the IDC Club. It's a great chance to get a deeper understanding of his strategies, get your questions answered, and connect with other people who are on the same path. We'll make sure you have all the information so you can check it out.
Perfect. As we close out this episode, I'd like to leave our listeners with this one thought. What's one step, just one, that you can take today to move closer to your financial freedom goals? Even a small step in the right direction can make a big difference over time.
That's a great question to think about.
We hope this deep dive has been helpful and inspiring. We'll be back soon with another fascinating topic, guiding you towards greater knowledge and understanding. Until then, Keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving for the financial freedom you deserve.